All right, everything's ready. I got snacks, dice, ready to go. Hello? Hey, you gonna be here soon? Oh, babysitter canceled. I mean, it happens. I mean, next time. Yeah, next time. Don't worry. Yeah, I'll just cancel the game for today. Well, yeah, don't worry about it. Things happen, man. All right, next time. Bye.
Hi, I'm Anthony Darkson,
And I'm Roland Sly Shadow.
and together we are the Twin Dragons. Welcome to our channel where we discuss everything tabletop role-playing games.
Today we're going to talk about the means of play for tabletop RPGs. And what I mean by that is there are two main methods of actually playing tabletop RPG. One is in person, where everybody gathers around a table and has a great time and enjoys. And another is through online platforms, which allows them to play long distance. The importance of virtual tabletops has been increasing over the past couple of years due to some major events happening worldwide, where people were staying indoors and alone more often. This allowed people to be able to continue experiencing and enjoying tabletop role-playing games, but obviously from a virtual presence. There's a wide range of virtual tabletops out there. Anything from a simple digital map with digital tokens to a fully automated system where it can do all the math and calculations for you, and all you have to do is move some tokens and roll some dice, and everything else is taken care of for you.
There are many virtual tabletop options out there. Like you said, some are very basic. Some of them are just a map where you have virtual tokens of monsters and players and maps where you can just move it around, and that's it. So very basic. Now, there also can range up to very complex systems. Complex systems that allow you to process, as you mentioned, calculating rolls, virtual dice, customizations of those dice.
Taking information like that, your virtual character sheet, and then grabs that information and then uses it. So when you roll, if you target a token with one of your tokens and you roll, it automatically does the calculations of the chance to hit, damage, depending on what system you're playing, and it does all that stuff for you. As well as a lot of other types of automation for like healing, and or gives you also options of lighting effects, line of sight, very important one for some systems.
To start off, there are many platforms available online. Some of these platforms, and just to name a few, there are many out there, but some of the top ones out there are Foundry, Fantasy Grounds, Roll20, and what else am I missing?
No, there's too many out there to list.
Yeah.
Another one that comes to mind is Owlbear. It's a very simple map system. But yeah.
Also, D&D Beyond offers its own as well.
Right. All right, let's talk about some of the benefits of using some of these virtual tabletop systems.
Well, I feel like one of the biggest advantages of virtual tabletop is the ability for people to be able to play remotely no matter where you are. If you have friends or families from all over the world, that's the advantage of having a virtual tabletop, where it doesn't matter where you are, you can bring your friends and family together and still have a good time.
That being said, also the convenience of being able to play in your pajamas is not a bad thing either. I mean, you could do that in person, but it's a little easier if it's virtual.
Pants optional. Another great advantage of being virtual is that well, you actually see a slightly higher rate of attendance, at least in our experience, because it's a lot easier to just turn on your computer and start rolling dice than having to, make plans, maybe trying to find a babysitter for the kids, and maybe things are just not working out, or maybe the car broke down, or whatever other excuses or things that happen in our lives that stop us from attending an in-person game.
As we mentioned before, there is huge automation potential with some of the various different digital platforms. And that actually makes it really easy for some people that just have a hard time crunching numbers. Obviously, some TTRPG systems have more number crunch than others. With these virtual tabletop systems, they allow you to easily crunch the numbers where it does it for you, and you don't have to worry about it. Some of the crunchier systems that have more numbers, Pathfinder, even Dungeons and Dragons, Starfinder, and some of the other big ones, you can tell that on a virtual tabletop system, there's a lot less worry about counting up the pluses and minuses and finding the final result of whatever the roll is, and you have more time to just enjoy the moment of what's going on.
Kind of like upcasting your fireball and you're rolling 8 d6s, and now you're needing to count all those and pull out the calculator on your phone just to calculate. So definitely makes it easier. Another amazing advantage of virtual tabletop systems is the ability to amass an amazing number of assets. We're talking tokens, maps, even sound effects you can build in right into some of these systems. Really, truly creating an in-depth experience. It ain't cheap to actually buy, actual miniatures and actual physical maps, but there are so much free downloadable content out there that you could probably find a free map for almost any situation you're in.
And some tabletop virtual systems also offer visual effects. I'm talking casting fireball and seeing that explosion happen, torchlight flickering, locations of absolute darkness that are casted upon your heroes. A lot of amazing effects that can happen on a virtual tabletop.
It almost makes you feel like you're actually playing an online game that truly immerses you. Now, there are some things to be mindful of when you're running a tabletop role-playing game through a virtual environment. One of those things is players paying attention. It's hard to know if they're playing Minecraft on another window while they're just waiting for their turn to just roll dice.
Now, this could be alleviated a little bit using video streaming like a Discord service where everybody can be face-to-face, but not everybody likes to show their face on a camera. So you may have those situations where people just start to play on their phone and or, as he said, do something else on the computer while they're just waiting for something to happen.
And of course, this could create a negative experience because maybe they missed something important that was being discussed because they were just being distracted by something else going on their computer in the background.
Another disadvantage of some of the virtual tabletop systems is the complexity. There's a huge learning curve to some of these more in-depth, complicated systems like Fantasy Grounds and Roll20, to name a few, that actually have a lot of coding, a lot of very specific nuances to them, and it takes a long time for a game master as well as players to get comfortable with a lot of the advantages and disadvantages of these in each individual system when it comes to the actual macros and programming so your cool effects can happen or your automation can work properly.
And that could be a game staller when something doesn't work in the middle of your session and now you'll have to stop to pull up the characters' calculations and the formulas within the character sheet and why something's not rolling or calculating correctly. And that could break the flow of the game. And then, of course, there's something that's just out of anybody's control. If the internet goes down, then you are stuck. Either your player gets disconnected because they lost internet, or you as the game master loses connection, And now everyone's just waiting, and it totally just kind of bombs the whole session.
I'm sorry, I disconnected for a bit. What happened?
I was waiting for you there. I wonder what happened. You were frozen. Didn't see what happened.
I DC'd for a second. Sorry. There's a thunderstorm going outside and the internet's just been really messed up.
Exactly.
Depending on your virtual tabletop of choice, sometimes new updates to whatever system you're playing, be it Dungeons & Dragons with Errata or Pathfinder or whatever, sometimes it takes time for the developers of these virtual platforms to actually make the updates in the system. So you may not be playing with the most up-to-date rules that's out there. So take that for what it will. Another thing to keep in mind with virtual platforms is that you have to spend money to buy the books, tokens, and maps within those platforms. Not all virtual platforms do that, but some of the big ones do, like Roll20, Fantasy Grounds, and such, where it is you own it, but within that platform.
Which means, not to say it'll happen, but if that platform no longer is in existence because the company went down or whatever, well, there goes your money. It is licensed and held by that organization.
Now, we really haven't seen that happen too much, but it is a possibility and something to keep in mind. Now let's talk about the OG way of playing tabletop role-playing games. I'm talking in person, face-to-face, with real dice and character sheets.
This is the way. This is the experience that was created from the beginning, where friends, families get together around a table and have some fun. This in-person interaction provides an experience like no other, a dynamic that people can feel and bounce ideas and emotions off of each other in a moment, in situations.
To relay a scene on a computer doesn't sometimes grasp what's actually going on. To see the game master's face and his expressions, and for the game master to see the expressions of the players and feed off their energy and really bring to life that scene, there's nothing like it.
For a experienced game master, an in-person session allows them to be able to bounce off their players, kind of feeling out how their players are feeling, their emotions, and truly being able to change the dynamic of situations that truly create in a moment that everyone will have fun in.
Body language being one of the biggest contributors to this. Just talking and saying and just listening to somebody's voice is one thing, but to see their physical reactions, how they move, how they start to look at each other with concern, and seeing each other's faces truly brings that experience to light. Now, as cool as virtual tabletop automations are with some of the systems that allow, just being able to grab a buttload of dice and watch them puppies roll and then counting it all out, oh man, there's something right there. Especially if it's like your first fireball. If you have an inexperienced member and they're doing fireball for the first time, grabbing all those dice and just letting them rip, there's something that's just so memorable about that.
Something I like about the sound of many dice rolling on the table. It's just so satisfying. Something that's also the benefit of having an in-person session is having things that are tangible, right? We're talking character sheets where your players are truly engaged in their character sheets. We're getting that pencil, erasing their health points, and writing in their new stats or whatever the case may be. It's something that's just more tangible and it gets them more connected to it.
Seeing a picture of a mini on a computer screen doesn't give that awe and gasp of seeing miniatures laid out on a table, either on a map or on a fully built out dungeon.
Some of the things that we've even mentioned in our previous videos is having handouts. what a way to really create a great experience by handing out actual items or documents or a map or a note that really truly involves whatever quest that they're on. That really brings them connected to what's going on in this story.
Being a huge Call of Cthulhu keeper, and I love the game system, that's one of the things I love about it. It's just handing out notes and to see my players' reaction, especially in one of our previous campaigns. I handed them an actual scepter that I got from a game store or like a costume shop, and handing them that scepter and see their faces going all like, oh, I want to grab that scepter. It was amazing.
There were some of us fighting wanting that scepter. So just because it was tangible, it was really cool that we can just grab onto it and make that part of our experience.
Here you go.
Hey!
All yours.
Yeah. They are mine to command. Hey, man.
Get that in.
You're right.
Get that out of the video.
We got a video to shoot. And of course, nothing truly exemplifies the tabletop role-playing game experience than snacks at the table. Having treats and snacks where you all just being able to enjoy something else that truly brings more to that social aspect of the game is something else.
Eating Doritos by yourself in front of a computer, it doesn't have the same experience.
I was gonna say something sad about that, but I'm like, that's sad. Eating ice cream in front of your monitor, you're just, I'm waiting for my turn. But yeah,
there are some complications and drawbacks that can occur, obviously, when you have an in-person tabletop game, right? One of them being said, as one of the big important things that were pointed out earlier, is attendance. Obviously, it is harder for some people to actually make it to someone's house due to outside factors, as mentioned before. And then you got to make that decision. Do you continue playing, or do you have to cancel and try again next time?
now one of the things about in-person is the cost of your assets. We mentioned one of the advantages of virtual is that there's a lot of free downloadable assets. Well, you can't download something onto your table. So if you're wanting to go all out, it can't get expensive. As immersive as it is, the price does escalate very quickly.
Now, there are some kind of solutions which you can kind of blend some things together to make your experience a lot better. Some people, and if you look online, you can find some people, they'll actually put like a TV or a monitor on their actual table and actually just download or upload maps and use virtual maps, but in an in-person situation.
Yeah. Or if you have a wall-mounted TV, you can provide maps, pictures of characters or monsters to be able to truly create a more interactive experience for your players with visual assets like that.
One of the challenges of tabletop role-playing games in person is that within this digital age, more and more people are getting, let's say, uncomfortable with in-person social interactions. So you may have a few people that may have some shell they have to break out of or some challenges facing just interacting in person with the group.
In the end, either it be virtual or in person, as long as you're bringing together friends and family and you're just having fun, that's all that really matters.
Playing tabletop role-playing games is better than not playing. Take advantage of whatever you need to do so you can enjoy this great hobby.
As you explore what option is going to be best for you, just make sure to really look into all the different options, especially when it comes to those virtual systems, and make sure you just narrow it down for the right one for you and your players.
Let us know about what you all do. Do you play online with your friends? Or do you come together and have a table experience? Comment down below. Let us know.
If you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel as we have more content coming out soon. Until then, see you next time.
And right in front of the group, a lich rises into the air, his flesh rotting, falling off of his face, a spellbook in his hand as he levitates off the ground. Roll for initiative. All right, got some good rolls. Fly Shadow, you want to go ahead and roll for initiative? Fly Shadow, roll for initiative, man. Fly Shadow. It's your turn, buddy. Roll for initiative, man.
Oh man! All right, cool. What are we doing?
It's the boss battle. It's the Lich, man. Roll for initiative.
Oh yeah. All right, cool.